All right, team. We're back here Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. Wanted to touch base on just dealing with injuries through the training process. I think that, given last year doing 2 marathons pretty close together with January for Miami and then Boston in April, it didn't give me much time for a turnaround for like a full true training block after recovery of my PR in Miami. And moreover, I actually sprained my ankle on the 13th mile stepping into a pothole. So that definitely pushed me back. It was swollen. It looked like a softball by the end of the race and took me a few weeks to kind of gather myself to go to PT, and had never been to PT before, was new at training, really. Everything was kind of a first time for me. So definitely took a step back and made me do some hard thinking on how I was going to approach the Boston race. Obviously, my hometown where I grew up meant a lot. I did want to be fast, but I also, after speaking to coaches and, people who have been doing this for years, they were like, look, it's too quick of a turnaround for you to go out and push a PR. We don't advise it. You're still healing. I probably had about 8 weeks of physical therapy for my ankle, which it was a lot of heat, stim, massage, and then also workouts they would send me home with, and I'd also do them in the sessions as well. So took up a lot of my time. I had a really good base, which led me to like a 3-hour 33 marathon in Boston, which was like 17 minutes slower than my PR. But going back to present day, I think it was yesterday. Today was a track Tuesday, and usually we do speed work. And today I just woke up with a really sore lower back. Yesterday I had trouble sitting up, standing down, or standing up, sitting down rather. And I just felt a lot of pain in my lower back. And rather than pushing it and, trying to overdo it, I stepped back and I just did like a 9-mile zone 2 kind of a jog at 9-minute pace. And I feel a lot better today, doing a lot of heat and some stretching, but I didn't want to force it. And I think a lot of people who are new, they get very excited about their race, they get very antsy, and they tend to push when the opposite is actually better, taking it easy and, having a more conservative approach, especially early in the training block. So I think that's something to note. I think that especially someone starting, they think that, they have all these bullets in the chamber because they haven't been running. But number one, it takes a lot of time to build up that cardiovascular and endurance fitness as it is. And I don't suggest just starting with a marathon. I think you should start with a 5K or a 10K or a half, depending on what your, previous athletic experiences were. Or, some people can pick it up a lot better if they were running in high school, whether it was track or cross country or some sort of, endurance type sport, swimming. But that's kind of my take. It is frustrating to have to sit out of a key workout. And again, I touched on this before, but the 3 main workouts in the week would be track or speed work, tempos or interval tempo run, and then the long run, which is usually on the weekend. Those are kind of your 3 staple workouts in the week, going through the block, and then you can supplement those with more zone 2 training and just getting more mileage as the build goes through the 16-week training cycle. I also touched on with a friend of mine earlier this week who's just getting into running. He's catching the bug. There's a lot of questions that people have regarding gear, shoes, what shoes to wear, what gels to use for nutrition, what supplemental protein to have. There's a lot of nutrition involved with counting macros and calories so that you're doing it the right way and you're properly fueling your body. One thing I like to say is, we're not dogs. We don't need treats. after a long run. You don't go and eat ice cream and beer. It's definitely, a very vital time to rejuvenate your body and heal and, eat the proper nutrients to recover. Another thing, a key component, which I think is slept on, no pun intended, is sleep alone. And just getting proper 8 to 9 hours, 8.5 hours, whatever your schedule allows, going to bed early, getting a good night's sleep, I think is even more important than dieting. I've been a big proponent of post-workout naps, whether it's 30 minutes to an hour. That really, really helps recovery, and it boosts it. And I can even see it in my watch. Like they say, oh, you had a nap, it increased it decreased your recovery hours. There was also a book, I can't remember if it was Eat and Run or Born to Run. I think it was Eat and Run with Scott Jurek, where it says that, there's post-workout stretching or post-workout nap. If you can mix in a nap, it's arguably better than stretching. So that really stuck out for me. And I'm happy to, I love talking about it. I'm really, it's fun to help educate the new runners, the people who are looking to get into it, and again, very antsy and excited, but sometimes they bite off a little bit too much more than they can chew early on, and it leads to injury. So I think injury prevention is really good. Rolling out, stretching, dynamic warm-up is huge. A lot of people ignore that. Obviously stationary stretching post-workout, what watch to wear, whether it's Coros or Garmin, or if they need a heart rate monitor or not, and how accurate they want their heart rate to be received through their tech devices. I'll probably be doing a giveaway at some point, maybe at the 100 subscriber mark. I do have a brand new refurbished Garmin, so that is something that I plan on giving away when I hit a specific number. So stay tuned, and any questions or anything that you guys are interested in that you'd want to hear about, I'm all ears. Dealing with injury is definitely mental. It can really disrupt your confidence levels, makes you feel like you're taking a step back, but every 3 steps forward, you may have to take 2 steps back, or a step back to go another 3 steps forward. So it's a long process, just like a marathon. It's an endurance event. It takes time to build. I mean, I didn't start training until about 2 years of just casually running, just because I loved it. So if that gives you any perspective, it does take a good bit of time. So I wanted to hammer on that, and especially dealing with this lower back right now. Probably go easy again tomorrow, and then see how I feel for tempo on Thursday. But the main goal now is just to feel 100% for my long run on Saturday. So that's definitely my mentality with injury, is rather play conservative, because if I want to run all 7 majors, I only got 1 down. So I have some serious time to stay healthy and keep building. And that's my take on injury.